Hey guys, this is Aaron, and I want to do some racing discussions, and I'm going to talk about all the events going on each week, kind of preview races, review races, give you an idea what's going on with driver changes and everything. And I'm going to be doing this for all the main racing series that I have time for that I can because I love all of them. And the first one I'm going to be doing is the ARCA series. It's kind of perfect. My name's Aaron, so I'm going to label these Aaron Talks ARCA when I do this. This is going to be the first episode of it today. And it's going to be pretty simple, sweet. I'm just going to kind of discuss the news from it. And this week for ARCA, I'm going to start by previewing the season. And since the first race at Daytona is in about 5 hours, I'm going to preview that for y'all. And I'm also going to talk about a couple big deals for ARCA. Alright, so first of all, actually, I'm going to review last season. It was the Frank Kimmel show. Some other drivers came in and won races, but Frank Kimmel pulled away big time over Mason Mingus and won the championship handily. He won quite a few races. I think he broke the record. Yeah, he broke the record for Mickey Katona. Dude drove crazy good all last year and got him another championship, and now he's coming into this year looking to do the same thing. One thing big for ARCA, the CBS Sports Network showed 3 races on tape delay last year. Well, this year it was announced, actually, I think today. Yeah, it was announced today that CBS Sports is going to cover 3 races live for ARCA this year. Those races are all kind of obscure ones on the schedule, actually. They're going to be their races on June 21st at Elko Speedway out in Minnesota, a race I'm going to at Winchester Speedway on Sunday, July 6th, and then a race at Madison International Speedway in Wisconsin on August 24th. They're all some pretty good races, some good short tracks people don't necessarily know that well, so I definitely encourage everybody to check these races out. It's going to be fun to watch. Anyways, let's talk about ARCA's schedule for this year. Not a lot of changes from last year, but they have one of the most varied schedules, even though it's so small. From February through the end of May, they only run 5 races, so it's kind of slow at first, I guess. It gives teams time to get set up, though. But the problem is, ARCA is a lot of their races are in this Midwest area, like I'm at in Indiana, and it's obviously too freaking cold to drive out here right now. We have snow on the ground, and a lot of it. Roads are actually still kind of slick, so you ain't gonna drive on them right now. But coming up and later in the year, as we get to May, June, you'll see a lot of ARCA races in this region, and that's kind of their bread and butter. All these short tracks up here, but they're starting today at Daytona. They have a race March 22nd at Mobile International Speedway down in Mobile, Alabama, a nice short track. Then they have a short track down in Salem, Indiana on April 27th, where they'll have the Federated Auto Parts ARCA 200. That'll be the first of 2 races at Salem. And then they go all the way back down to Talladega on my birthday, May 3rd, and they're racing there. That'll be a good one. ARCA's races on these tracks are always fun. And then they have a race at the strangely designed but fun to watch Toledo Speedway on May 18th. And then in June, they really kick it in, and you have a lot more races. There's 4 races in the month of June. The first one is the New Jersey ARCA 150, a race on the road course, New Jersey Motorsports Park. Now, ARCA is one of the only racing series that you see on TV that really races on this track. I wish they would show the races on this track because it looks cool, but what are you going to do? I mean, it's a cool race. You see a couple drivers racing that don't race in any other ARCA race all year, so it'll be interesting to watch. The next week, they're going to race at Pocono in the Pocono ARCA 200. Pocono is usually won by the big teams, teams with good engines. Like last year, it was all Chase Elliott and Eric Jones and Corey LaJoie stole the second one when those two both had problems. But those 3 really dominated those races. And then they'll go to Michigan on June 13th, a race that I believe Corey LaJoie won last year while I'm talking about him. So that'll be fun to watch. They go to Elko, that televised race, on June 21st. And that'll be their last June race. And then you get into July. After 4th of July, on the 6th of July, they have the Winchester ARCA 200 at the furiously fast half-mile Winchester Speedway. They have the Chicagoland ARCA 150 at the beautiful Chicagoland track. If you've never been there, it's amazing. On July 19th. And my personal favorite on the schedule, one they've re-added, they're going back to Lucas Oil Raceway in Indianapolis on July 25th for the ARCA 200. Now, 2 years ago, it's when Frank Kimmel ended his losing streak and got back on track to start winning races again. And I went, and I loved that race. It's an amazing track. It's everything that racing should be, and I'm really glad they're coming back to it. Alright, they're coming back to Pocono for the ModSpace 125, a 75-mile shorter race than the first one on August 1st. Then they go to the very short, very quick, very fun to watch Berlin Speed Raceway in Berlin, Michigan for the Berlin ARCA 200 on August 9th. And they have their first of two dirt races, the Allen Crow Memorial 100 at the Illinois State Fairgrounds on August 17th. Follow that up with another race at Madison International Race or Speedway for the Madison ARCA 200 on August 24th. And then the year kind of winds down after that. They've only got four more races. The Southern Illinois 100, another dirt race at DuQuoin's State Fairgrounds. They go back to Salem Speedway for the Federated Auto Care ARCA Fall Classic on September 13th. They race on the Superfast Kentucky Speedway for the Loop 150 on September 19th. And they end the year, ARCA is the only team that does this, at Kansas Speedway for the Kansas ARCA 150 on October 3rd. These are all some pretty good races overall. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They have 20 total races. Nice strength schedule. They've got some really good tracks on there, and they're the only series you'll see on some of these tracks because they don't have the seating for your bigger series. So it's actually really fun to watch. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch them. It's going to be good racing. It's always been one of my favorite series. You'll see me tweet at them a lot. If you don't know, follow air_bear on Twitter. That's my main one for racing and stuff. It's a side account. If you want to hear me talk racing and talk it with me, please follow me on there. I love it. I'll follow you back if you talk about any sort of sports. It's kind of my thing. It's right up my alley. So if you do, just let me know. It's a great, great, great series here in ARCA. I love watching it. And now that I've previewed the series, why don't I preview the actual race coming up here? We're at Daytona International Speedway for the biggest race of the year. There's some drivers in this that you won't see in many other races, including our pole sitter. And who is our pole sitter? Why, it's Dylan Kwasniewski. This guy's moving up this year, driving for Turner Scott Motorsports, and it's going to be a great year for him, I think. And he qualified very fast, and he's going to be one of the guys to watch in this race for sure. He was about 0.6 of a mile an hour quicker than anybody. Also qualified second. This is Grant Enfinger. Then you've got Buster Graham, Mark Thompson, and another one to definitely watch is fifth place Chase Elliott, driving the HendricksCars.com, Napa Brake Chevy. Dude's going to be fast. He's furious. He always drives good in ARCA. He'll definitely be somebody to keep an eye on. And you got Tom Hessert, Will Kimmel. Another one to watch is John West Townley. He won this race last year. He's starting 9th in the Zaxby's Toyota. And you got Terry Jones. Brian Silas is usually pretty good in this series. You got Justin Allison, Brian Rose, Sean Core, Clay Campbell. The man himself starts 16th, Frank Kimmel, looking for another big win. Let's see here, Cole Powell, Matt Kurzajewski, Jared Marks, Scotty Kubler, and one of my guys to watch, starting 21st, coming up kind of heartbreaking, losing his truck ride, but getting a shot at this ARCA race is Jeb Burton. Dude's a really good driver. You're definitely going to want to keep an eye on him. He doesn't necessarily have the best car for this race, I don't think, but he knows how to work that draft in that air, and I think he's going to be up there by the end of the race. You've got Mario Gosselin, Benny Gordon, Derek Lancaster, Tom Buzz, Bobby Graywall, Spencer Gallagher, Cody Wisner, Chris Bailey Jr. I'm just reading off the starting grid, by the way. If you don't know, they've already qualified. Alex Danielson, Justin Boston, who usually drives really good, is starting all the way back in 31st. We're going to have to see what happens with him. He's usually pretty decent at these races. He'll work his way up there. In ARCA, all your cream rises to the top pretty quick in these races because they've got the speed that the other teams don't. So we'll have to see if that affects anything. And you got Tyler Reddick, Leilani Munter, Thomas Prater, Mary Eve Default, Tim Vance, Ed Pompa, Barry Fitzgerald, Dick Doheny. And one to always keep an eye on at Daytona, even though he's starting 40th in this and wouldn't seem to be a candidate to win it, is Bobby Gerhart. Dude's won so many Daytona races. He just knows how to drive them. Really, the key in ARCA, a lot of guys are really scared to make moves late in the race. So if you're in the lead under 10 to go and you can just hold that lead, you've probably got a pretty good shot at winning these. And it's going to be the key, I think. I think whoever's leading with 5 to go is probably going to win the race because that's generally speaking how it's gone in the past. I think your big drivers to watch are going to be Dylan Kwasniewski, Chase Elliott, Jeb Burton, and you might not get to the front, but you definitely still want to watch Bobby Gerhart. And other than that, Frank Kimmel's going to try, but I don't think Kimmel's ever really going to get another win at Daytona. He's going to need a lot of help if he's going to. And definitely keep an eye on John West Townley and Grant Enfinger, because John West Townley won this race last year. He knows how to drive him, and Enfinger's a pretty good driver, although he doesn't get a lot of love. There's a lot of good races in this, a lot of good talent. The field's deeper than most ARCA races, and there's 40 cars in this thing. A lot of them are probably going to be starting parks or be out of contention early, but you should still keep an eye on it. It's going to be a great race, and I can't wait. We finally got racing season back, guys. Let's get excited. All right, later.